Hey everybody, Grayson here, Gundam Gambler. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a few different things. First, GD-05, I have my pre-orders in. I'm going to talk about it. I wanted to wait until there was a few more leaks, but I think with the rate at which they're doing it, it's more important to get the video out, let you guys know what's going on, let you decide what to do with your money. I do want to touch on the premium card collection as well. A lot of you guys have been asking me about promo cards, any that are worth putting your money into. So we'll talk about this product kind of just as an intro to promos, and then we'll touch on another card as well towards the end of the video, which is doing absolutely crazy things right now in Gundam. But starting with GD-05 TCG player, $275 US. Now, do I think this is a realistic price right now for this box? No. If you're looking in Canada, you can still find boxes for around like 230, 240 Canadian. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to buy it in case quantity at that price, but when pre-orders started a couple days ago, I had a store reach out to me in Canada, great guy, and I was able to get some boxes there. And I'll shout out the store once everything's like finalized and I actually have my boxes and stuff. But you know, my understanding is people are going to finally be making money on Gundam boxes, which is great if you're a store, right? Having to put up so much money every single set release, making hardly anything on it, you know, just trying to churn and burn and put that money other places. It's not fun, right? So GD-05, it's highly anticipated. We're going to have 5 LR++ pluses in here, which is amazing. And there's already a few leaks that are out, right? Like if you go to the Gundam website, this was the first card that they announced, the Strike Freedom Gundam, and you have Kira in the background, which I started watching. I can't remember the exact Gundam episode. There's like 48 episodes or whatever for that series, but Kira's in it. He's a coordinator or whatever. So learning a little bit more about Gundam every single day. So great, LR++. And there's going to be 5 of these in the set, guys, which if you remember, these are cards that are normally somewhere between like $400 and $1,000. Some of those are starting to push like $2,000 as well. And with the fact that there's going to be 5 in the set and not just 2, like a normal Gundam release, we're more than likely going to have a situation where it's very difficult to pull any specific LR++, which is probably going to have more upward pressure on the market price of some of these cards. So once we know what the other LR++s are going to be, I'll definitely make a video on that. But if you go to the Gundam TCG Reddit page, which I hate Reddit, it's a cesspool, but it's probably one of the best places to get information on leaks. There's been a couple of the alt arts unveiled. So this is going to be the new Gundam. And this is, I think, you know, pretty decent, right? Like some people like this one. Probably not as much as this alt art of the Gundam, which people are saying they love these, right? If you read the comments on this, I'm not going to open it, but people are very big fans of how those alt arts are looking. And again, that's just like an LR+, an R+. It's not even going to be the top rarity. There's also going to be some pilot SPs and alt arts. So you can see here, Amuro Ray. This is apparently a very popular character, very historic character in the Gundam franchise. Something like this, probably going to have decent value behind it. Also, if we hop back over to the Gundam website, there's going to be different rarities in this set. So if we scroll up, we will find the link rares, I believe, which is going to be a new rarity system. But with the link rares, all the SPs, the alt arts, 5 LR++s, you're going to have so much value in a set like this more than likely. And people are already anticipating this with the boxes going for 230, 240 Canadian. So what would that be, like 180 maybe USD in that range? Like I think if you can find boxes around 1,500, you can buy a case for 1,800 bucks. It doesn't seem like a terrible play to get some exposure early on, because if we get crazy leaks for those 4 LR++s, we could be looking at a set that might jump up to $250, $300 fairly quickly. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's definitely a possibility based on what's happened with a lot of other TCGs over the past year. So in short, I would be looking anywhere and everywhere right now, trying to lock in pre-orders at a good price, whether you want a booster box case, multiple cases, whatever. Try and get it now before all the other leaks come, because just based on what we know right now and the leaks we've gotten, it's going to be a very strong set. So that's what I would recommend. Now, before we move on to the premium card collection, if you guys do enjoy the videos that I'm putting out, I would really appreciate it if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hype the video. If you do have a hype, it helps the channel get pushed out to more people. Starting a new channel on YouTube is always difficult as well. So I appreciate you guys being here. And if you do want to work with me this year, all the links in the description, whether you're focused on Gundam solely or you're looking into One Piece or Pokemon or other games, a lot of those links could be useful to you. So starting off, promo cards. I've had a lot of people ask me about promos, and I haven't got deep enough yet into a lot of stuff. So I'm waiting to do more research before I make like a really solid video. But the premium card collection is something I do want to talk about because these have done incredibly well in One Piece, these premium card collections. And my understanding, the Gundam one in English you got from Bandai Card Fest. So there's not a ton of them out there. And they've already run up, you can see, from less than $400 out the gate to now being around $800. You basically doubled your money in 5 months, 4.5 to 5 months. A lot of these cards too are holding value. There's no crazy premium on this being a sealed booklet of the 6 cards, but a lot of these are doing very well. So the Gundam Elfrith, this is going for around $260, but recent sales, you're pushing $350, right? You add on to that, you have the Gundam here as well. This, the RX-78-2, this is going for $250. So those 2 cards alone, that's like $600. And then after that, Zaku 2, this is over $100, $120 fairly consistently. So pushing like $720 just from the top 3 cards. And then you have another 3 here too, which aren't as expensive, but they're still relatively expensive, right? So when I think about promos and I think about investing into certain things in TCGs that maybe no one's really paying attention to, I would recommend, if you want to go the single card route, the slab route, find the best promos that you possibly can and then buy those up, right? Build a decent portfolio in those cards, because when the masses ultimately come to a game, they're going to watch YouTube videos. They're going to talk to other people, educate themselves, find out what the best promos are, the promos that look the best, and those are going to be the ones that they go by, right? So if you get in early, you're going to be able to get a decent price, maybe not the best price ever, but still a decent price at this point. And then you're going to be able to still see very solid returns on them. So something like the premium card collection, if you can find one of these in English, because they did, I believe, a Japanese version as well. If you can find one of these around $600, $650 still, probably a steal, probably worth picking up. The final thing I wanted to touch on in this video, because everybody has been telling me about these, the new type challenge card. So I believe this is like a tournament or whatever that happens. And this is the winner card by the border. You can kind of tell there's no real stamp or anything on them to signify that they are those cards. But something like this Freedom Gundam has had an incredible run over the past 6 months, and nobody's paying attention to Gundam at the same time. This is a card out the gate, right? In February, you could have bought for sub $700, around $600 realistically, $640. The most recent sales on this card from July, $2,600 and $2,500. You've 4x'd your money in half a year on a Gundam card. And people are still telling me on a daily basis, Grayson, you can't make money in Gundam. And sure, like, I'm not invested into this card, right? So I'm not making money on this, but other people are, which is amazing, right? People are going to see something like this. Eventually, it's going to get out to the masses. People are going to look at the booster boxes. They're going to look at other promos. You're going to have more people coming in, and not just speculators and investors. You're going to have people coming in who look at this card and they go, wow, this is awesome. Like, I didn't know Gundam had a TCG. I want to collect that. I want to play in the tournaments. And that's how things snowball. They start to grow. So the fact that we're already seeing crazy returns on certain cards like this makes me so bullish on this game long term. Like, I don't think people realize how early we are to Gundam if the TCG markets continue to pop off, right? If things change, if we do a 180 and everyone stops collecting cards, then we can be worried about Gundam. And that's kind of one of the very fair criticisms I get about investing in a game this new. But at the same time, it's a great product. It's a solid IP, even if it's not the most popular in the world. And Bandai's doing a really good job at, one, supporting the game, giving you prize cards. They really are copy pasting a lot of what they've done with Pokemon. And most importantly, with the mainline sets, they're keeping the print runs small. So when you think about something like GD-05 that could be an absolute game changer, that could bring a ton of people into the hobby. If Bandai sees success with 5, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to print this product into the ground. They might do a wave 2 at some point. Even with One Piece, all the mainline sets eventually get reprints, right? 6 months after release, we kind of get a wave 2. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's a little bit bigger, but that's normally what happens. So we might get more GD-05 in the future, but we're not going to get a crazy amount of it. So that's why I'm very excited about this set, why I'm very excited about Gundam as a whole. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'll be back on Monday to do the weekly market update. I am going to drop the threshold down to, I believe, $250, just so we can make the videos a little bit longer, get some more variety in terms of cards in there, and things that we normally wouldn't see will now show up in those videos. I'm also going to do a video next week on promos, go a little bit more in depth. I had a couple people ask me about starter decks. I haven't gone crazy deep in terms of research into those, but my superficial level of understanding is that in Gundam, the starter decks don't have booster packs inside, so it's not like One Piece where you get one unmapped pack of a certain set, which does make those in One Piece decently exciting, but in Gundam, it might be something that you probably don't want to invest a ton of money into. But there are probably other ancillary products that will do well. Obviously, there are a ton of promos to cover, and some of them, like the Freedom Gundam, you can make very good money on. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It does help out a ton. Stay safe wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.